Hello, my courageous Capricorns. Welcome back. As you know, I'm Sachi the Scorpio, and I'm here to deliver your guided reading for the month of June. Please like, comment, subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. So today for the general energy, we're going to be using the As Above deck. For anyone new here, we take a look at the light aspect of things. That's the lighter karmic lessons of what's going on, and also what is known to us, what is in the light. We also take a look at the shadow, and that's the darker, deeper, more difficult karmic lessons and what might be hidden from us in the shadow. And we try to bring it to the light, not only to become aware of it, but also so that we can heal it. So during the cleansing ceremony, I got a couple things. One, I found a piece of cat hair, which is interesting because I don't have a cat and I haven't been around a cat. So some of you might be getting a new cat, or maybe you'll be visited by cat spirit. During the cleansing ceremony, the Two of Wands wanted to come up, like when I was cleansing it. So I do think that you are dealing with a twin flame situation that is being purified. I was getting the feeling that, that someone has some sort of smoking addiction. And I'm not sure if it's you or the person that you're dealing with, but I do think that's kind of, something is going to be going on in regards to that during June. And we have fog coming out, which is, very, very smoky. So I also was feeling in the shadow, the card that popped out was a trainer card using Max Revive. So I feel, trainers are someone else. So I feel like, either the person that you're dealing with has healed themselves, or that you have realize that you might need another person to fully revive something, but know that your partner is, fully reviving themselves. And I also think that someone else brought something back from the dead, either for them or for you. And I also had this feeling that someone told you something and that it's true, but like you find out it's not as true as they said. Like the extent of how they exaggerated it, like they exaggerated. Okay. But anyway, so for the month of June, we have fog and reverse veiled. So I think that there's a lot that's going to be, unveiled for you. I think that already things have come to light. But I do think that there are more things that are going to continue to be unveiled during the month of June. What else is going on for our Capricorns? It could be that the person that you're with, also something has become unveiled. We have crystals, focus, and tsunami, wake up call. So I remember during the Scorpio full moon, you got this card, and there was some sort of wake up call that you went through during that time. And we have the Sagittarius full moon coming up, which is an eclipse on June 5th. And I think that that's going to be closing out a cycle for you. This is, crystals, focus. I do think that you're focusing your mind on whatever this wake-up call was. Some of you might be doing crystal work specifically, but I do take this more as mental focus with the wake-up call. I also, did feel that it could be your twin flame that is also going through something like this. But whatever stirred up this ocean, I definitely think that, that cycle is coming to a close with the Scorpio full moon. And I think whatever this is, you really need to maintain the focus on whatever that wake-up call was. Tree, grounding, and lightning power. So it looks like you're going to be a little bit ungrounded during this time. I'm sorry to say that, Capricorn. We definitely are going to look into how to better that, but it looks like there might be some difficulty with grounding yourselves in terms of a power dynamic. And I think, I think whatever you have realized of what's going on, and I think it was stuff that you figured out around the Scorpio full moon, because a lot was divulged to us. You've really been trying to maintain your mental focus, and, putting all that energy into it, because what you went through was pretty intense, and it looks like you might be struggling with that. And, I do offer the extended. The link is in the description box below, because we're definitely going to look at how we can ground ourselves and the power. But I think that it's kind of like a power struggle between you and your twin flame right now. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. So let's look at what has been unveiled here. What has been unveiled? The Fool, the Five of Chalices, and the Nine of Chalices. So there is some sort of new beginning, and I think that you are on this path. But there is a completely new cycle that is starting. And I feel like, you know, you were blind to something, and now you might feel a little bit like the Fool. Or this can be your partner. Of course, all of these energies can be switched, because I know I get cross watchers. But someone has started a new beginning, and that's very obvious. And it has to do with the Five of Chalices, some sort of mourning, you know, loss, the sadness. And it looks like this had been going on for years. This is the Nine of Chalices, you know, the birthday card. So this might be a new cycle that, you know, is being closed out because of something that happened a year ago, or, you know, multiple years. But there's definitely someone who is on a new path here. And I feel like you know, this person, whether it's you or the other person, like, you've closed out some sort of emotional cycle is what I'm getting. And it's within yourself. The Nine of Chalices, you know, 9 indicates concluding a cycle on your own, and 10 is with another person. So you've concluded some sort of emotional cycle within yourself. And it has to do with this loss and this sadness that you have endured. And you are ready for a new beginning completely. What's the light aspect here? Okay. That's too many, but we have Metapod using Stiffen. So I think you're definitely, you know, that was the heart chakra using Stiffen. So there's an aspect of kind of hardening your heart chakra, maybe protecting it, like for an evolution. You know, that was the chrysalis Pokemon. So it's like you're preparing to become a butterfly, but you've just started a new cycle because you've concluded this one that has to do with sadness and, you know, being stuck in loss. What's the light aspect here? Yeah. Double Dragon in reverse and Flame in reverse. You know, Double Dragon is my Twin Flame card. So this is a Twin Flame situation that is wonky in reverse, and it very much is unstable in the root chakra area, you know, of how it's not grounded. You know, this has to do with the aspect of feeling safe. Love, lust, intensity, safety, you know, food, drink as well. You know, fire, smoking, that can influence the root chakra, absolutely. So, you know, yeah, it's definitely your Twin Flame. So again, it could be your Twin Flame on a new cycle, but the thing is like, you know, like, if you're on a new cycle, they are. If they are, you are. That, I mean, you know how it works. So you're both closing out an emotional cycle within yourself, for sure. And it's interesting because Scorpio got the Max Revive card in reverse during the cleansing ceremony, and they had the Double Dragon in the exact same spot. What's the shadow here? Fighting type. So there's an aspect of fighting energy. So someone might be fighting this in the shadow in the 5D. They might be psychically fighting it with, yeah, with ink spit. So this is a dark type. So, you know, you might not see them fighting, but they are fighting. And ink spit, I want to say, like, they're fighting against, when I say spitting ink, I usually feel like sending a letter or a message, you know, communication. And it's like, I feel like someone's fighting from saying something dark, you know, because there is this aspect of Victini using me first. So I feel like there's some selfish energy here. And it's like, you know, there's some fighting going on because of selfishness. Again, this is root chakras, which is part of why the root chakra is imbalanced here, because someone is feeling selfish, but they're fighting against it. And I think that, you know, whoever it is, they might be aware that it's, you know, dark. It says it flashes the light emitting spots on its body, which drain its opponent's will to fight. It takes the opportunity to scuttle away and hide. So, you know, someone, again, like, is trying to fight against their darkness. You know, they don't want to draining the opponent's will to fight. So I do think that there's an aspect of releasing this energy of wanting to fight because, you know, or needing to release, you know, the want to fight. And it takes the opportunity to scuttle and hide away. So I do think that someone has, you know, kind of run from this and hidden away. And that's probably part of the new cycle that is starting. Victini says, when it shares the infinite energy it creates, that being's entire body will be overflowing with power. So, you know, again, it's that twin flame energy. I feel like, you know, I mean, you know, as a twin flame that you have access to this infinite type of energy with your twin. And I feel like the access to that infinite energy, someone is definitely being selfish with it. Someone is overflowing with power. And they are fighting against the darkness. So whether that's you doing it in, you know, the psychic world, you know, and it is because you are mentally focusing, but I do feel that your twin flame is also doing the same sort of mental exercises. Let's see this focus on the wake-up call. Ooh. This wanted to go right to the Fool of starting a new beginning. Temperance in reverse. Yeah, there's a realization that things have not been balanced. Not been balanced at all. And I think the focus is trying to get that temperance upright. And, you know, temperance is the aspect of, like, you know, of going to one extreme in order to balance out, you know, what's going on. So I think that it's like not wanting to take extremes, but knowing that I feel like this cycle is kind of closing is what I'm getting. But, you know, like temperance, it's like either the full absence or the full presence of something in order to maintain it to balance. So, you know, temperance literally means abstinence from alcohol. So if someone is like consuming alcohol all the time, they go through that temperance sort of like complete abstinence, and then they can kind of, you know, like find balance and have like a stable relationship with it. Sometimes, obviously, I know that's not how addiction works, but that's like the mindset behind temperance. So, you know, I do feel like this balance has not been had, but it's being focused on. Like, you really want to bring balance to this situation because, like, the waters, you know, the liquids, the emotions, definitely was a wake-up call around that Scorpio full moon that we had last month. What's the light aspect here? That didn't want to come out. But yeah, another fire. This is hot, hot, hot. We have heat more using searing flame. There is definitely something that is very ignited here. Like, look at this guy. Whoop. Like, he has his nails did too, you know? So I do think, you know, searing flame. So again, twin flame type energy. There's a lot of passion, a lot of intensity, a lot of lust, a lot of fire in here. Let's see. It says there's a hole in its tail that allows it to draw in the air that it needs to keep its fire burning. If the hole gets blocked, the Pokemon will fall ill. So someone might be going through some sort of like digestive issues or things like that, because it does talk about the tail. But, you know, again, we have the root chakra coming out. So there is this fire that has really activated the root chakra, but it's talking about, you know, it needs to have that hole to keep its fire burning. So, you know, I think, you know, if it gets blocked, then it, you know, it will fall ill. So I feel like someone really needs somebody else here, you know, or they're going to get sick. And I think that that's part of what is happening with this temperance. Like, there's so much passion and drive right now because someone needs to feed. What's the shadow here? And the way to do that is by balancing. Coughing, foul gas in reverse. Again, we have this like smoking type energy. So I do think that for some of you, part of what is blocking this root chakra has to do with smoking and things like that. But, you know, this is psychic type in the shadow. So, you know, and foul gas in reverse. So I do think that the foul gas that's in the shadow, you know, it's kind of like poisoning the situation, is being let go. But, you know, it's still there. I feel like it's there now, and it's going to be, you know, dwindling during June. And it, you know, again, we had the talking about the gas in its body. You know, it needs this gas, and if it doesn't get it, then it's going to, you know, fall ill. And then here we have that the gas used to be a little bit foul. What it, you know, what this person or you were feeding off of was toxic and poisonous, is what I'm getting. And now there's balance that is going to be had to get rid of the toxicity on how you are feeding off each other. It says, its thin balloon-like body is inflated by horribly toxic gases. It reeks when it's nearby. So, you know, I do think that that is, you know, very much, you know, about what you're putting in your body, of course, but then also, like I said, like it's exactly what I said, of feeding off of each other, of that foul psychic gas, you know, and it's very much what has been unveiled. Like, again, it's this sort of foggy energy. I do also feel a third person here, and it's like because it talks about it reeks when they're nearby. I feel like there has been some sort of activation of smell where, like, someone just can't stand their smell. Whew, let me get some water here. All right, so we see that things are not grounded. Obviously, you know, there's some sort of power thing going on. We have so much root chakra energy. So let's see about this energy that's not grounded and this sort of power struggle that seems to be going on. What's going on here for Capricorn and Joan with the grounding and the, oh, so this wanted to go right to the, you know, twin flame and the root chakra area. So what's been blocking the root chakra is the King of Chalices in reverse. I feel like someone, like the divine masculine, has not mastered the emotional cycle, is what I'm getting. You know, the King of Chalices upright, like this is the highest form of divine masculine when it comes to emotionally regulating, who's really in tune with his emotions and can emotionally regulate so much that, you know, you would trust him around children. But that energy is in reverse. So I feel like, you know, they might have some inner child healing to do when it comes to emotional cycles, or, you know, and that means you as well. You know, you both share the same wound of the divine masculine emotional stuff, but just separate ends. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So, yeah, and this is causing a power clash and causing it not to be grounded. What's the light energy here? Ooh, Litwick, slightly simmer. Yeah, again, there's a psychic connection that has to do with this flame that's just slightly simmering, and it's in the light, you know, so you're very much aware of it, so are they, and this flame is just simmering in the background and really influencing your third eye. And I feel like that's why you've really been maintaining, you know, focusing on your mental focus in regards to this wake-up call, because, you know, this is still a flame that's there. It says, Litwick shines a light that absorbs the life energy of people and Pokemon, which become the fuel that it burns. Yeah, it's all about, you know, feeding. So again, you know, and even here we have someone who just wants to feed and is like, oh, me first. And, you know, like it becomes the fuel that it burns. So again, like, yeah, someone is feeding off of somebody else, and that's creating, you know, the ungrounded, imbalanced fire dynamic, basically, or power dynamic. What's the shadow here? And, you know, this one did want to come out. Yeah, okay, I figured. So, all right, so there is unknown using farewell letter. So, you know, it's in the shadow. I feel like something is unknown, and it might be about a farewell letter of, like, you know, not getting the confirmation maybe that someone's leaving, or if this person has left you or something like that. It's very strange. I think that there's or someone that you need to say farewell to. You know, it's psychic and in the shadow. So you know, I think that there was kind of a goodbye, but that this flame is still simmering. It says, excuse me, let me drink some more water. Shaped like ancient writing, it is a huge mystery whether language or unknown came first. So again, there is that aspect of the twin flame journey of, you know, being able, through our love with them, being able to understand that sort of, you know, crazy philosophical concepts of, like, what came first, unknown or language? What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, things that really don't have an answer with the rational mind. And, you know, through love, like, we can understand that. But, you know, that might be something else that, you know, is part of this cycle. The fighting energy, watch or learn. So I feel like someone did not, you know, learn a lesson. And it has to do with this fighting type of, like, fighting, you know, through communication because they're selfish and they just want to feed. I do think that cycle, you know, it's causing this imbalance in the power dynamic. It says, it disguises itself as a tree to avoid attack. It hates water, so it will disappear if it starts raining. Yeah, I feel like someone, you know, said farewell, keeping this flame afloat. And it's because they don't like water. So, you know, however, whether it's you or the other person, how they had their wake-up call, you know, this water scared them. And, you know, they wanted to retreat. Like, when it hates water, so it will disappear if it starts raining. So, you know, it gets very afraid of the water, of the emotions, of the rain. But this did ignite this fire again, this flame that is slightly simmering. And we have execute using ram. And I always take this, you know, and this card, like I said, you know, it's the fire, like the passion, the love, the lust, the intensity. It's also sexual urge. You know, the fighting energy here, this is the sacral chakra, which more has to do with sexual energies and partnerships and things like that and pleasure. But this is more the animalistic drive of sexual instinct. And then execute using ram, I always take as just wanting sort of that primal drive of sex. Because it says, even though it appears to be eggs of some sort, it was discovered to be a life form more like plant seeds. So, you know, we have the seeds and the eggs and things like that. So very much impregnation type energy. And I feel like this is the heart chakra. And it's like someone's heart is desiring this flame very, very much so. Very much so. Like I said, Capricorn, we are going to take a deeper look into this in the extended. If you would like to click on the link in the description box below, we're going to take a look deeper into, you know, what is going to be unveiled during June in regards to your twin flame relationship. We are going to look into how to help you maintain your focus during this in order to bring this temperance upright. And then also look how you can help ground yourself in this power dynamic. But let's see, what does Capricorn need to hear about love? Love will die if held too tightly. Love will fly if held too lightly. So, of course, with the twin flame energy, it is that delicate dance of you can't hold on too tight to it and you can't let it go too much, or it will fly away. And that's very much this temperance. And I feel like that was the wake-up call of, like, somebody held on too lightly, and now it's being, you know, which is why it's not grounded, is what I'm getting. So, yeah. But the only reason why it was held too lightly is because someone else was holding it too tightly. So, you know, there's no blame game in twin flames, as you know. All right. What should Capricorn focus on healing for the month of June? Whoa. Wow. Well, we have birth. So again, there is a rebirth here. You know, we have the Fool card, so there is a complete new beginning, which Capricorn, as you know, we have 2 retrogrades going on in your sign right now. Pluto, the planet of rebirth, and also Jupiter, and Saturn is your natal ruler. Saturn is going to be going back into Capricorn at the end of June. So there's a lot of activity going on in Capricorn right now. And birth, you know, we do have the seeds and the stuff like that. So we also have emergence. So definitely emerging out of this situation and, you know, rebirthing in a certain way. And we have balance. This is the balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And I think that that is what cycle you're really going through, is, you know, holding too tightly, holding too lightly. This Temperance card of, you know, of trying to balance it out. Yeah, eternal flame with your twin flame. Like, I think you and your twin both know that this is like, it's the eternal flame, and you're really both working on this balance, because dreams, this is your dream fulfillment. But I also feel like that you're going to be getting some dream messages, so pay close attention to them. I feel like maybe that's what the cat was about. Like, you know, I feel like you might be getting a message from a cat in a dream. I know that's really strange, but pay attention to cat spirits and also what your dreams are telling you. So make sure you know, keep your dream diary and things like that next to you, because I feel like you might be getting messages from your twin flame in the dream realm. So, okay, Capricorn, like I said, if you would like to look deeper into this, the link is in the description box below. Also, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can email me at sachithescorpio@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram at sachithescorpio. And I will also link the root chakra for Gemini, because it's all about what we need to be grounded during Gemini season, which is a very airy time. We've had so much activity in Gemini. It's been very exhausting, and I know that you feel that too. So, because, you know, Gemini is the twin flame energy. So, take a peek at that, and I hope to see you for your next reading. Okay, Capricorn, have a great month of June. Bye-bye.